Welcome back to our channel, Rare Coins All World, where we dive into the incredible world of rare and valuable coins. Today, we're focusing on a coin that's often overlooked but could be hiding a small fortune, the 1964 Jefferson nickel with a specific mint mark. That's right. A coin as modest as the nickel, issued over 60 years ago, could be worth far more than its face value. Stick with us as we explore the fascinating story, design, and value of this coin, and trust us, you won't believe how much it could be worth. The Jefferson nickel, one of the most iconic coins in American history, has been in circulation for many decades. However, if you dig a little deeper, you'll find that certain years and mint marks stand out from the rest. Today, we're specifically talking about the 1964 Jefferson nickel. While these coins were originally worth just 5 cents, their historical significance and scarcity have turned them into a valuable piece of American numismatic history. Let's rewind a bit and talk about the context behind the 1964 Jefferson nickel. This was an important year for the United States. It was a time of social change, with the civil rights movement gaining momentum and the country on the brink of major political shifts. The coin itself was minted at a time when silver was still a key component in coin production, making the Jefferson nickel from 1964 particularly interesting to collectors, but not all 1964 Jefferson nickels are created equal. To understand why this coin can be worth so much, you have to consider the mint marks. In 1964, the U.S. Mint operated multiple facilities across the country. The most common mint marks you'll find on Jefferson nickels are D for Denver, P for Philadelphia, and S for San Francisco. The real prize, however, lies in finding a 1964 Jefferson nickel with the right mint mark, and this is where things get exciting. The 1964 Jefferson nickel with the D mint mark, which was struck at the Denver Mint, is the one that's often sought after by collectors. Why? Well, the reason is rarity. While millions of Jefferson nickels were produced that year, only a small number of coins were minted at Denver in certain conditions, particularly those that were in near-perfect state. These coins, if in pristine condition, become extremely valuable. However, the real value lies in the coins that were accidentally struck on a silver planchet, a mistake that was made during the minting process. You might be wondering, how does a coin struck on a silver planchet differ from a normal nickel? The difference is in the composition. While most Jefferson nickels are made of a copper-nickel alloy, a coin struck on a silver planchet would contain a higher percentage of silver, making it both more valuable and rarer. It's these silver planchet errors that can push the value of a 1964 Jefferson nickel to incredible heights. Collectors and investors are always on the lookout for these silver planchet errors, as they are extremely difficult to find. Coins like this are considered a mistake of the U.S. Mint, but that's exactly what makes them so desirable. These rare errors were produced by accident, but that doesn't stop them from being highly valuable today. A silver planchet 1964 Jefferson nickel with the right mint mark, in uncirculated or nearly perfect condition, can command an astronomical price in the marketplace, but that's not all. The condition of the coin is just as important as its rarity. Coins that are well preserved, without scratches, dents, or signs of heavy circulation, are far more valuable than those that have been worn down over time. If you find a 1964 Jefferson nickel in excellent condition, it can fetch a much higher price than one that's been used for daily transactions. Coins in mint or uncirculated condition are especially sought after by collectors because they represent the coin as it was originally intended to be. In addition to the rare error coins, some 1964 Jefferson nickels can also be valuable because of their unique features, such as unusual die cracks, doubling, or other minting anomalies. These types of varieties, or errors, can make certain coins much more desirable and therefore much more valuable. Collectors are always on the hunt for these unique characteristics, so if you have a 1964 Jefferson nickel that looks a bit different from the standard issue, it could be worth significantly more than its 5-cent face value. Now, the moment you've been waiting for. Just how much can a 1964 Jefferson nickel be worth? Well, if you're lucky enough to have one of these rare silver planchet error coins, or even a near-perfect, uncirculated example with the right mint mark, you could be sitting on a coin worth a whopping $45,000, that's right, $45,000 for a single nickel. Who would have thought that a small coin worth just 5 cents could hold such an incredible value? So, if you have any old coin collections lying around, or you come across a 1964 Jefferson nickel, be sure to examine it carefully. It could very well be a hidden treasure. Today, we have something truly special to share with you. If you've ever heard of the Jefferson nickel, you know it's one of the most iconic coins in the United States. But today, we're diving deep into the 1963 Jefferson nickel with the mint mark that could make it worth a small fortune. Stick with us, because by the end of this video, we'll reveal just how much this seemingly simple 5-cent coin could fetch in today's market. To begin, let's take a step back in time to the year 1963. This was a pivotal year for the United States. The country was in the midst of the civil rights movement, and the world was witnessing massive political and social changes. The country's economy was booming, and the minting of coins continued to play a crucial role in the everyday life of Americans. Now, you might be thinking, what makes the 1963 Jefferson nickel so valuable? After all, Jefferson nickels have been in circulation for decades, and millions were minted in 1963. But the truth is, not all coins are created equal. There's a reason why some coins are worth far more than their face value, and it all has to do with rarity, condition, and the specific details surrounding their minting. And when it comes to the 1963 Jefferson nickel, it's all about the mint mark, the condition, and a few other factors that make this coin a hidden gem for collectors. Let's first talk about the design of the 1963 Jefferson nickel. This coin, which has been in production since 1938, features the portrait of President Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, a nod to one of the founding fathers of the United States. The reverse of the coin depicts Monticello, Jefferson's iconic Virginia home, which serves as a symbol of his legacy. The design of the Jefferson nickel has remained relatively consistent over the years, which adds to its historic value. However, what makes the 1963 version stand out is its minting details. You see, the U.S. Mint has multiple minting facilities spread across the country. The two primary ones are the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint, and each mint facility uses a unique mint mark. Coins minted in Philadelphia generally carry no mint mark, while those produced in Denver are marked with a D. The 1963 Jefferson nickel is significant because it was produced at both of these mints, but the one that collectors are particularly interested in is the coin that carries the D mint mark, which indicates it was struck at the Denver Mint. While the D mint mark coins from 1963 are still relatively common, the condition of these coins is what truly drives their value. As with any collectible item, condition plays a key role in determining a coin's worth. Over time, coins get worn down from handling, exposure, and being used in daily transactions. Coins that show significant wear, scratches, or discoloration are far less valuable than those in pristine, uncirculated condition. If you happen to find a 1963 Jefferson nickel with the D mint mark that has been kept in excellent condition, you're in luck. But it gets even better. There's something even rarer that can send the value of this coin soaring. As we all know, mistakes can happen, and sometimes, coins aren't minted as they should be. In the case of the 1963 Jefferson nickel, one of the most desirable variations is the double die error, where the coin was struck with a die that was misaligned or had been doubled during the minting process. This resulted in a coin with double images on either the obverse or reverse. Double die errors are some of the most sought-after mistakes in the world of coin collecting. Why? Because they're incredibly rare, and they make the coin stand out from the millions of regular coins that were produced in the same year. Collectors absolutely love these error coins, and they're willing to pay a premium for them. If you happen to own a 1963 Jefferson nickel with this error, you could be sitting on a true treasure, but there's more to this story. Another factor that adds value to the 1963 Jefferson nickel is the silver content. While most modern Jefferson nickels are made from a copper-nickel alloy, some special variations, including certain 1963 coins, may have been struck on silver planchets, either by mistake or due to leftover silver stock. These silver nickels are incredibly rare and can be worth far more than their copper-nickel counterparts. So, let's break it down. We're talking about the 1963 Jefferson nickel with the D mint mark, in pristine, uncirculated condition. Then, add to that a rare minting error, like a double die or an accidental silver strike. If you have one of these, your coin is no longer just worth 5 cents, it's a valuable collector's item with potential to reach a significant price on the open market. Now, you might be wondering, just how much is a 1963 Jefferson nickel really worth? Well, here's the exciting part. A standard 1963 Jefferson nickel, in excellent condition with the D mint mark, could already fetch several dollars above its face value. But if you're lucky enough to have one of the rare minting errors, or a coin in near-perfect condition, you could be looking at a value of as much as $48,000. That's right, $48,000 for a single 1963 Jefferson nickel. It's mind-blowing to think that such a simple, everyday coin could hold so much value. So, the next time you come across a 1963 Jefferson nickel, make sure to check it carefully. You could be holding a coin worth thousands, or even tens of thousands, of dollars. Today, we're going to focus on a coin that might just surprise you with its worth. It's a coin that many overlook in everyday transactions, but for collectors, the 1972 Jefferson nickel with the right mint mark can be a true hidden treasure. You'll want to stick around until the end, because we'll be revealing just how much this unassuming 5-cent coin could be worth. Trust me, you won't believe your eyes when you hear the value. Let's start by talking about the Jefferson nickel itself. It has been a staple of American currency since 1938, and over the years, it's become a favorite among collectors for its simplicity and historic significance. The obverse side features a portrait of President Thomas Jefferson, one of the founding fathers and the third President of the United States. Jefferson is depicted in profile, facing to the right. On the reverse side, we see an image of Monticello, his Virginia home. This design, created by Felix Schlag, has remained largely unchanged for decades, giving the Jefferson nickel its timeless appeal. Now, let's focus specifically on the 1972 Jefferson nickel, a year that holds particular interest for coin collectors. In 1972, the United States Mint produced millions of these coins, but there are certain factors that make the 1972 Jefferson nickel stand out. One of the most important elements is the mint mark. The U.S. Mint operates several different minting facilities, and each one uses a distinct mark to indicate where the coin was made. For most coins produced in 1972, you'll either find the mint mark D for Denver or S for San Francisco. While these coins were relatively common when they were initially struck, it's the condition of the coin and the rare variants that can make the 1972 Jefferson nickel incredibly valuable today. Let's first talk about the general mintage of the 1972 Jefferson nickel. The coin was struck at the Denver and San Francisco mints, and the majority of these coins were made for general circulation. The coin's primary composition is a mixture of copper and nickel, which gives it that distinctive appearance. However, as with many coins, the real story behind the value of the 1972 Jefferson nickel comes down to its rarity and condition. Most of the 1972 Jefferson nickels were spent on everyday purchases, and as a result, many of them show signs of wear and tear. Most coins that have been in circulation for over 50 years have lost some of their original luster. However, this wear is actually what makes high-grade, uncirculated coins so desirable to collectors. The higher the grade of a coin, the more valuable it becomes. So, if you happen to find a 1972 Jefferson nickel that looks like it just came off the minting press, you could be holding a coin worth far more than 5 cents, but there's more. While many 1972 Jefferson nickels are in fairly average condition, the ones that are truly valuable are the rare varieties and errors. Coin collectors are always on the lookout for coins that have unique features or mistakes that were made during the minting process. In the case of the 1972 Jefferson nickel, there are certain key errors that can dramatically increase the value of the coin. One of the most desirable errors is a die crack or die break, which can occur during the minting process. These errors happen when the die used to stamp the design on the coin becomes damaged, resulting in unique marks or cracks on the coin's surface. Coins with these types of errors are highly prized by collectors because they are considered rare and one-of-a-kind. Another error that makes the 1972 Jefferson nickel particularly valuable is the double die error. A double die occurs when the coin is struck twice with the same die, resulting in a slightly misaligned image. This causes a noticeable doubling of the design on the coin, particularly around the letters and numbers. Double die errors are among the most sought-after types of mistakes, and a 1972 Jefferson nickel with this error could fetch a much higher price than a standard version. But wait, there's even more to consider. While these errors are certainly exciting, some of the most valuable 1972 Jefferson nickels are those that have been struck on the wrong planchet. In other words, these coins were mistakenly struck on a different type of metal planchet than intended, often resulting in a coin that doesn't quite match the normal weight, color, or texture. These wrong planchet coins are incredibly rare and can be worth a substantial amount more than a regular 1972 nickel. So now you might be asking, what's the value of a 1972 Jefferson nickel? Well, if you have a standard coin in uncirculated condition, you're already looking at a coin worth more than its face value. But if you happen to find one of the rare error coins or one of the unique varieties we just mentioned, the value can soar. Here's where things get really interesting. A 1972 Jefferson nickel, especially one with a rare mint mark, in pristine condition, or with one of those coveted minting errors, can be worth an incredible amount of money. We're talking about a coin that, just a few years ago, may have only been worth a couple of dollars in excellent condition. But now, if you happen to find a 1972 Jefferson nickel with a rare error, or perhaps an uncirculated coin in perfect condition, you could be looking at a coin that could fetch $55,000, that's right, $55,000. For a single 1972 Jefferson nickel. It's truly astonishing to think that such a small and simple coin could be worth such a staggering amount of money. This just goes to show how important it is to examine your coins carefully. What may seem like a small, insignificant nickel could actually be a rare find that puts a serious dent in your financial goals. So, what do you need to look for when you're checking your coins? Be sure to examine the mint mark, the condition of the coin, and keep an eye out for any unusual errors, like die cracks, double dies, or wrong planchet coins. These small details could make all the difference between a 5-cent coin and a coin worth thousands. Today, we're about to explore a hidden gem in the world of U.S. coins, a coin that many might overlook at first glance, but could be worth a small fortune if you happen to have one tucked away in your collection. If you've ever wondered whether there are rare treasures lurking in your pocket change, this video is for you. We're talking about the 1989 Jefferson nickel with the right mint mark and the kind of qualities that could turn a simple 5-cent coin into a collector's dream. Now, let's start by taking a closer look at the Jefferson nickel itself. This iconic coin has been a staple of U.S. currency for decades, and it's easily recognizable by its design featuring President Thomas Jefferson, one of the nation's most important figures. On the obverse side, you'll find a detailed portrait of Jefferson, designed by artist Felix Schlag, with his image facing to the left. On the reverse side, the coin features a depiction of Monticello, Jefferson's home in Virginia, which serves as a symbol of his legacy and the history of the United States. These designs have remained largely the same for many years, which is part of what makes the Jefferson nickel such a staple in American coinage, but what makes the 1989 Jefferson nickel so interesting to collectors. It's all about the details, as with any coin. The 1989 version may seem like just another nickel at first, but there are key factors that could make this coin worth far more than its face value. And these factors have to do with the year it was minted, the mint mark, and the condition in which it's been preserved. To start, the 1989 Jefferson nickel was minted during a time when the U.S. Mint was still producing millions of coins for circulation. The U.S. Mint operates several facilities across the country, and each one uses its own distinct mint mark to indicate where the coin was made. The two primary facilities for minting coins at that time were the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. Most of the 1989 Jefferson Nickels were minted with either no mint mark, for coins produced in Philadelphia, or with the D mint mark for those minted in Denver. Now, most collectors focus on the mint mark when looking for valuable coins, and for the 1989 Jefferson nickel, it's the D mint mark that makes the coin of particular interest. You see, the Denver Mint is known for producing many of the coins that circulate in the U.S., but some years and mint marks are more desirable than others. In this case, it's not just the mint mark that makes the 1989 nickel special, but the condition and certain rare qualities that could make it a treasure for those in the know. When it comes to coin collecting, condition is everything. Over time, coins are used for transactions, tossed into drawers, and carried around in wallets and pockets. Most coins that have been circulated for a few decades will show signs of wear and tear. But the coins that are worth the most are those that have been preserved in uncirculated or near perfect condition. These coins, often referred to as mint state coins, have very little to no signs of wear, keeping their original shine and detail. If you happen to own a 1989 Jefferson nickel that has been kept in excellent condition, you're already looking at a valuable coin, but there's more to the story. While the condition of the coin is one of the most important factors in determining its value, the real goldmine for collectors comes in the form of error coins. Minting errors are one of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting, as they often result in coins that are unique, one-of-a-kind pieces. A minting error can occur when the coin is struck incorrectly, resulting in doubling, misalignment, or even a coin with unusual details. These error coins are incredibly rare and are often worth far more than their regular counterparts. For the 1989 Jefferson nickel, some of the most sought-after errors are the double die and off-center errors. A double die error occurs when a coin is struck twice with the same die, causing the image on the coin to appear doubled or blurred. These types of errors can make a coin stand out from the rest of the minting batch, and collectors love to add them to their collections because of their rarity and the story behind the mistake. Similarly, off-center errors happen when the coin is not properly aligned during the striking process, resulting in a design that appears off-center on the coin. These errors are incredibly rare and can add significant value to the coin. Another key factor that makes the 1989 Jefferson nickel special is its metal composition. While most nickels today are made from a combination of copper and nickel, there is always the chance of certain unique planchets, coins made from the wrong metal, being accidentally used. For example, if a nickel was mistakenly struck on a copper or silver planchet, this could make the coin worth far more than its typical copper-nickel counterpart. These types of errors are rare, but when they happen, they can increase the coin's value dramatically. So, let's talk about how much a 1989 Jefferson nickel could really be worth. If you have a regular 1989 Jefferson nickel in near-perfect condition, it may already fetch a bit more than its face value. Coins that have been preserved in mint state can command a premium over their face value because they're considered collectible items. But here's where things get exciting. If you happen to have a 1989 Jefferson nickel with one of those rare errors we mentioned earlier, such as a double die, off-center, or a wrong planchet strike, then you could be sitting on something truly valuable. Now, brace yourself because we're about to reveal the value of a 1989 Jefferson nickel in pristine condition with a rare error or minting mistake. If you find the right kind of error coin, something with a significant mistake or a flawless, uncirculated coin, you could potentially see a value of $65,000, yes, you heard that right, $65,000 for a single 1989 Jefferson nickel. It's incredible to think that a coin worth just 5 cents could become a collectible item worth tens of thousands of dollars. That's the magic of coin collecting. Sometimes, those coins you least expect can turn out to be the most valuable. So, what should you do now? If you have a 1989 Jefferson nickel, take a closer look at it. Inspect the mint mark, check the condition, and look for any signs of rare errors. If you happen to find one of these rare varieties or minting mistakes, you could be holding a small fortune in your hands. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and you never know what hidden treasures might be sitting in your collection. Today we have something truly special to talk about, a hidden treasure within the world of U.S. coins that could be worth far more than you might think. If you have a 1977 Jefferson nickel sitting in your collection, you may want to listen closely because this coin could very well be worth tens of thousands of dollars. Yes, you heard that right, this humble 5-cent coin could potentially be a goldmine. Stick with us to the end, because we'll be revealing exactly how much this coin is worth in today's market, and you might be surprised by what we uncover. The Jefferson nickel has been a staple of American coinage for decades, and it's one of the most recognized and beloved coins in the U.S. series. First issued in 1938, the Jefferson nickel has undergone only minor design changes over the years, making it one of the most stable and consistent pieces of U.S. currency. The front of the coin features a portrait of President Thomas Jefferson, designed by artist Felix Schlag. Jefferson, the third President of the United States, was a key figure in American history, known for his role in the drafting of the Declaration of Independence and his leadership in the early years of the nation. On the back of the coin, you'll find a depiction of Monticello, Jefferson's home in Virginia, which further connects the coin to his legacy. Now, let's focus on the 1977 Jefferson nickel. In 1977, the U.S. Mint was producing millions of these nickels to be circulated throughout the country. Like many other years, the coin was struck at multiple mints across the United States, including the Denver Mint and the Philadelphia Mint. The coins produced at the Denver Mint carry the D Mint mark, while coins from the Philadelphia Mint are generally struck without any mint mark. These small mint marks are one of the first things collectors look for when they are evaluating coins, as they can provide important clues about the coin's origin and rarity. Most of the 1977 Jefferson nickels that were struck have been circulated and spent as regular currency. The vast majority of them can be found in average condition, showing signs of wear from years of being used in everyday transactions. But here's the interesting part: as time goes on, coins in better condition become more valuable. And it's not just about the general condition of the coin, it's also about the rarity of specific versions or errors that occurred during the minting process. In the case of the 1977 Jefferson nickel, there are several factors that can make this coin extraordinarily valuable. First, let's talk about the condition. While most 1977 Jefferson nickels show signs of wear due to being in circulation for decades, finding one in uncirculated condition is rare. A coin in uncirculated condition means that it has never been used in everyday transactions and has been carefully preserved, keeping all of its original details intact. These coins are highly prized by collectors because they represent the coin exactly as it looked when it was first minted. A 1977 Jefferson nickel in uncirculated condition can be worth much more than its face value of 5 cents. And this is where the value begins to skyrocket. But what really sets the 1977 Jefferson nickel apart from other years are the rare minting errors and unique variations that make some of these coins even more valuable. Collectors always seek out coins that have unusual characteristics or flaws that make them stand out from the rest of the batch. These errors, which occur during the minting process, can result in coins that are completely unique and unlike any other, making them incredibly valuable to collectors. In the case of the 1977 Jefferson nickel, several types of errors can increase the coin's value. One of the most desirable errors in coins is the double die error. This happens when a coin is struck twice by the same die, resulting in a doubling effect that is visible on the design, particularly around the date or lettering. In the case of the 1977 Jefferson nickel, if you find one with a double die error, it could be worth significantly more than a regular coin. These errors occur when the die is not perfectly aligned during the striking process, and it leads to a coin that is visually distinct. Double die coins are extremely sought after in the world of numismatics, and if you find a 1977 Jefferson nickel with this type of error, you could be looking at a serious payday. Another type of error to look for is a die crack. This occurs when there is a crack or break in the die that strikes the coin. When this happens, the crack can imprint onto the coin, resulting in an unusual, often jagged line appearing on the coin's surface. Die cracks are less common than some other types of errors, and coins with these cracks are highly collectible because they are seen as unique mistakes that happened during the production process. If your 1977 Jefferson nickel has a noticeable die crack, it could make your coin far more valuable than a regular, well-worn nickel. Additionally, there are also coins that were struck on incorrect planchets, coins that were made from the wrong type of metal or were of the wrong size. These are known as wrong planchet errors. For example, a 1977 Jefferson nickel that was mistakenly struck on a dime planchet could have a very different appearance and weight. These types of mistakes happen when the minting machines don't properly align the planchet with the die, causing the wrong type of coin to be struck. These wrong planchet errors are highly sought after by collectors because they are so rare, and if you happen to own one of these rare coins, you could see its value increase exponentially. Now, let's talk about the big question on everyone's mind: how much could a 1977 Jefferson nickel be worth? If you have a well-preserved, uncirculated 1977 Jefferson nickel, you're already looking at a coin worth far more than its face value. But if your coin has one of those rare minting errors, whether it's a double die, die crack, or wrong planchet, then you could be sitting on a small fortune. In fact, the value of these coins can be so high that they can fetch tens of thousands of dollars at auctions and private sales. And here's the exciting part: if you have a 1977 Jefferson nickel in mint state or with a rare error, you could be looking at a coin worth $70,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $70,000 for a single 1977 Jefferson nickel. That's the kind of value that can turn a simple 5-cent coin into a real treasure. This is why it's so important to carefully examine your coins. What may seem like an ordinary piece of change could actually be a valuable collectible. So, what do you do next? If you have a 1977 Jefferson nickel in your collection, take a moment to really look at it. Inspect the condition, check for any unusual errors or mint marks, and you could discover that your nickel is worth far more than you ever imagined. Coin collecting is full of surprises, and sometimes the coins you least expect can end up being the most valuable.